Hi everyone, my name is Rick and I wanted to give you some quick tips and tricks for CorelDraw. In this video, I'm going to be using CorelDraw 2021. A little bit about my background. I got my first computer in 1977, 46 years ago. It was a Tandy TRS-80. It used a cassette deck to record all your data, and you had to go through this ordeal of pushing record and hitting save, and it was just crazy. Now this picture right here of this computer is actually my second computer that I got, and it actually has I think it was called an 8-inch floppy drive, and you put your floppy disk right here, then you flip that lever, and it was actually about the size of a large record, and it was floppy. You can move it around. You had to make sure you didn't bend them or leave them out in the sun. It was crazy. But that was back in 77. First computer, basically it had some games and stuff on it. You couldn't really do much. But this one right here, this was the TRS-82. And basically all they were back then is spreadsheets. Now, Windows didn't come out until 1985. So Tandy, even though these were pretty much the first business well, they were kind of just business computers. IBM already had the big mainframes and stuff that the government used and big, huge businesses used. But so that was 46 years ago, 1977. It was called the TRS-80. And the weird thing about all this is Windows didn't come out until 1985. And then once I got my first version of Windows, first computer with Windows on it, that was it. That old Tandy computer ran a program called TRS-DOS. And it was, I think, just a program that IBM and Tandy worked on. Now, something kind of interesting, and especially if any of you out there are leather workers, Tandy actually owned Radio Shack. And this computer, you went to a Radio Shack store, and they actually had a computer store over in Scottsdale. So you could actually go to the computer store, but all Radio Shacks had a few models of the computers. They were the neatest store. They had electronic parts, scanners, CB radios, walkie-talkies, sound systems back then. They were a super neat store. But anyways, just kind of a weird thought there. Tandy, they still have leather stores, actually owned Radio Shack. And the leather stores, some of those are actually still in business. Whereas I actually think that some Radio Shacks are open somewhere. I heard the other day that there was actually a couple of stores or something. But anyways, Windows came out in 1985. And I'm showing you today on CorelDraw. Now, something really weird about CorelDraw is I've been using it since 1989. So I got my first computer 46 years ago, but I've been using CorelDraw now for 34 years, which is, I don't know, just absolutely amazing that time goes by that fast. But I don't know, let's get started here. So the only reason I had this picture of this computer on here, if I hit my my arrow to the right, it moves to the right, up and down, it moves. Now what's doing this is right now when I have this selected, if we look up on the top here where our commands are, these little buttons we can push up here are commands, but if we don't have anything selected, we have this one right here with the 4 arrows. When we select it, it goes away. So if you unselect everything, this controls how far we nudge something when we push one of those arrows. Now there's a lot of times you'll want to use the arrow button instead of moving something with your mouse. Because if you move something with your mouse here and you want to keep it lined up, sometimes if you're just going to move it a little ways, it's easier to use the arrow to keep it lined up. Now, if you really do want to keep it on a certain path, if you just select it, hold your mouse down, and then push the shift, then it'll stay. You know, it can move it if it wants, but because it doesn't know if you want to go right or left. But once you go one direction, it'll pretty much stay on that same plane. Okay, so if we deselect everything and we go up here and we change our nudge, if I go up there and change that from 0.1 to 0.01, now when I select it and hit the nudge, it moves. It doesn't move nearly as much when you hit the arrow key. If I hit the shift, that makes it move farther and faster. Okay, so right now, deselect it, I can go up there and I got 0.01 on there now. If I put it back to 0.1, now when I hit an arrow key, it moves a lot farther. So the lower that number is up here, the more precise you can be with your arrow keys. Okay, up here on top, you have your command buttons. And it's kind of hard to see right now what I'm calling a command button. On the right side over here, we have our dockers. And if right now I got the align docker. Now if I click on something, then it becomes available. If I have nothing clicked, it's just grayed out over here. So if I select the square, let's tell you what, let's just get that computer picture out of the way. If I select the square and the circle, now they become available. So say I hit, I'm going to center those, and right now you can select center it to the objects, or you can also center it to the page, which is this one, center of the page right here. So if I put this on center to page, and I click on one object, put that on center to page, and if I hit click to center right here, that's going to center that to that page. But say I want to center this circle to this square. If I select the circle first, and then I hit shift, and then I select that square, then I go back here. Now I don't want to center that to the page, because that would put it, you know, over here in the center of the page. I want to center this circle to the center of this square. So now I go over here and I click on selected objects. So it's going to center that. Click on that. Now if I hit center, there you go. See how the circle went to the middle of the square? Now I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. Now, like I said, the right side over here are called dockers. So if I can't see these dockers, if I don't have any dockers, right now it's clicked on align and distribute. So, and what I'm showing you here is to get it to go away. If you need more screen room, just click, and then it hides itself. And then if you click it again, then they'll come out. Now right here, if I go up to Window and I look at dockers right here, that's going to show me whatever I have selected, and these don't go in order either. So I have properties, objects, align and distribute, fit object to path. Anywhere there's a black check, those are going to be over here. Like, see, I got palettes with a black check, and here's palettes over here. I can click on that, and I can work with my palettes. Okay, so to move around over here, if I'm done with palettes now and I want to go back up to align and distribute, I just click up there. If I want to move anything, like right here, scripts, if I want to move that up, I just grab the square, and let's see, and we just move it up, and you'll see it click in place there. Now I move that up a position. If I want to move it back down, I can just move it back down. And once you get used to using CorelDraw, let's see here. Once you get used to using it, a thing you're going to use a lot is objects. It's real easy to keep track of your layers and your pages over here. See, it even lists your pages and it lists your layers. Right now I only have one layer, and if I click here, then I'll have two layers. And I can just right click on these and then I can actually rename them. So if I don't want to call that layer 2, if I wanted to call that something else, I could. Okay, so the main thing I wanted to show you in this video is up here on top, these screens are always changing by what you have selected. Like right now, I don't have anything selected. For instance, I see like my nudge adjustments and stuff like that, but I also see my page 8.5 by 11. But now if I select these items over here, then I get my Y and X axis coordinates. I get my sizes of whatever this object is right here. Like if I just select the square, it's actually a rectangle, it's not a square, but it tells me it's 1.59 wide and 1.308 high. So when I select that up here, watch the top, you see I get different, like right now I could change the outline for that square, but I get a bunch of different references. I get edges right here, corners and stuff like that. So what I want to show you, over here on the right, if you want to add dockers, you just went and you put a check over here for this kind of stuff. But up here, these are called commands, command buttons. Now over here, this is something we use a lot on the left side. That's called an actual toolbox. And where you see that is you go to your toolbars. You'd think it would be under Doctors, but it's not. It's under Toolbars. And then you would hit Toolbox, where this check right is. If I took that check off, all those tools on the left side would go off there. And of course, some of these bars up on top of here would go off too if I deselected those. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to add some things. Now, right here, grayed out, you can see a line left and a line right. And really, if I click on, when I want to use, now these are actually in the wrong place. These are on the wrong screen, basically. Because I want those to show up when I'm moving objects or sizing things. Now see over here in my objects, now I have an ellipse selected and a rectangular selected. That's the neat thing about objects. It really helps you control where everything is at. And if I can't see something over here, say I just drew like an A, okay? So I draw like a capital A, and I got it right here. And view is a great thing to use too. Like right now it's in enhanced, but I usually put it in the normal view. And if I select both these items over here, it tells me by looking at this layer that A is higher than the ellipse that it's underneath here. So say I went and I colored this ellipse, say I colored it yellow, okay? I'm seeing my A over here because my A is selected in blue, my ellipse is selected in blue. That A is higher than that ellipse, okay? If I went over here and I grabbed that A, I clicked on it, held it in, and I drug it down. Let's see here. Okay, see the blue line? Now I'm below that ellipse, and now you cannot see that. You can't see that A over here. Now if I hit Alt and double click on there, then that gets me down lower. You can hit Control Alt too to get you down. See how I was able to select that A down in there? That's a good way to do that. But anyways, so there's two ways of doing that too. You can go up here to Object and then Order, and then go to the front of the page or to the front of the layer or forward one. Now I can just hit forward one here and see what all it did? All it did is it moved that A on top of that ellipse. Okay, so when we went up here and we talked about Dockers, those are all those things that are already on over there to the right. Now, what we want to do now is if I select something, now I want to be able to have my alignment tools. And I'm just showing you alignment tools, as you can put a lot of different things up here. Here's all my weld tools up here. Here's my mirror tools. But if I go up here with this selected and I click on the this plus sign right here, okay, Now these are all the normal things that are already up there. So here's your object origin. That's over here on the left, and that's a good thing to use too by how you move things. Position, size, scale, weld, those are all the weld, the trim, the intersect. Those are all those things are up there. The boundary box. Those are all those different weld selections that are up there. Here's my ungroup, group, align left, align and distribute. Okay, so now I actually put these up here. This align left and align distribute. Now I would actually like, right now I have a line left and I have a line right in there. Now there's other alignment tools that I like to use in there, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to hit customize and see up here on top, these are the two alignment tools that I got in there. Takes a minute for that customize to come in here. And we're going to go to command bars. Let's see something here. Well, yeah, we already got toolbox, command bars. We're just going to go to the regular command. Okay, so we're on commands. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. The problem I get sometimes is I use so many different computers, and when you open up these programs on each computer, the program, however you change it, is going to stay the same on that computer unless you're using a cloud version. Now this is just actually a desktop version, so it's not a cloud version, but if you were using the cloud version, then everything would stay the same. But I just hate paying monthly fees for stuff. I'd rather just buy something. When they do an update, if I don't think it's worth it, then I don't buy it. But anyways, so like I said, we already have a line to the left and a line to the right up here. So if we go back to Windows, or actually, if we just hit the plus, now I need to reselect that because I changed my screen. If I hit this plus up here, now when I go customize, the reason I couldn't find all that stuff before, and here's a little trick to show you, like if I go here and I'm looking through my commands, which are right here in the command, I got the, you select this if it's not selected on commands. And the weird thing is you think it would just show you everything, but it doesn't. You can go up here and you can look through stuff that way, or you can just type here. I'm looking for the align commands. So if I type in align there, then I get the rest of those align commands. And there's align and distribute. I already have a line left up there, and I already have a line right up there. So what I want to put up there right now is I want a line, I want a line top and bottom up there too. So I'm just going to go ahead and left mouse click on it. Now I'm going to bring it up here and drop it up on top. Now I can't, see how it's grayed out there? I can't drop it anywhere. It's going to disappear if I drop it up there. But if I move it over on the other side of that line right there, see that other line come into play? Now if I let go right there, it's going to put itself up there. See where it's up there now? So now I got a line to the top. So now I want to put a line to the bottom right next to it up there. So I go and I put it, see my line there? Excuse me. It has to do some thinking too. All right, so the next ones that I want to put in here is a line centers horizontally and line centers vertically. So I'm just going to grab that, take it over there, let it go. And then I'm going to go and hit align centers, take it up there, and let it go. So now I got my left, right, top, bottom, middle, horizontal, middle, vertical. You could put align and distribute up there if you wanted to, but so, okay, say we're doing that. And a lot of you would just say, well, why don't you go over here and just click on align and distribute? Well, say you got this on objects over here. And a lot of times when I get something on objects over here and I'm keeping track of everything, now you got to understand, you could easily get hundreds of things over here to keep track of. So you're scrolling up and down, you get to something, you don't want to lose your place. It's easier to go like this, select something, Now I'd have to go over here, click on align and distribute, and then I could click these same exact buttons in there, but I don't want to do that. So if I just go and I click to center that, it is going to center that, and that's going to stay how this works over here. So if I hit Control Z again, now when we left our alignment over here, when we left that, we left it on align to objects. If we were to leave that on align to page like that, and then we did that again, and then we went over here and hit center, okay, it's going to stay there on this one. Okay, it did at one time switch back and forth. So we could actually, well, let's see if there's a, let's go ahead and hit Control Z. And just for the heck of it, let's see if we got the availability to get that other button in there. These are the only ones that I use very much. And I very seldom ever align anything to the center of page. I always align to objects. But let's go and look at our line commands here. And let's see if we have that able to do that there. Let's see, align guides. Align and distribute, align and distribute. I wonder what they call that. Align to object. Yeah, see they're they don't let you do that here, or I don't know where I'm looking for that. But anyways, so I think everybody has this. Now, of course, you could just leave this out here. I wonder if we can drag one of these over here. No, it won't let you do that. Okay. Let's see what else. I think that was all I was going to show you guys in this tips deal. But anyways, that'll help you out a lot. It'll save you a lot of time, and I don't know, whenever you can learn these little tips and stuff, it's definitely just going to make you more proficient at doing your CorelDraw stuff like that. And like throughout my day, I usually use maybe more, but up to 50 programs and apps. So, and all this stuff is a little bit different, but that was kind of the neat thing about Windows when it came out, is a lot of the things did work alike, and I'm sure you Mac users have a lot of that going on too. I don't really ever use anything iPad, Apple, Mac, any of that kind of stuff, just Windows stuff. And the reason I've always done that is because I run a lot of G code, machine code, and that when Apple first came out, it was kind of like artsy programs and stuff, and I really needed programs that work. Now it's just as good. I wouldn't recommend going with Windows versus Apple. I think it's whatever you want now, or whatever you like. Something I did want to mention too, when you're going through here and you click on your plus sign over here, and when you go customize, so whatever is when you're looking through all these things right here, and you go, I'm on tools right now, but say I went to objects, which would be right here. Now everything under objects is, you do have other centers, center to page buttons you could put up there. Like if you did want to center your item to the center of the page, you could center a page, just center to page. You got center to page horizontally. You got center to page vertically. You can just drag those up there and put them by your other buttons. But what I was just going to tell you here is kind of how to get around these things here. Now I'm in objects right now. So whatever's in objects right here is the same thing as what's in objects up here. So you can pretty much get to any of these things that we want to put over there up here from here. Now, one thing that is nice to know, everything pretty much has hotkeys. Like to the front of the page, you can just hold control down, and then hit the home key, and then that's going to bring everything to the front of the page. One forward, is hold control down, then hit page up. But all these, pretty much everything over here, is going to have hotkeys. Well, if it does have a hotkey, it's going to show you what it is, which is, kind of nice, because then if you do, say you do on your order or on our align here, we go to our align. If we want to align everything to the left, now this is provided these hotkeys work on your system, they're not taken up, you got them set right and everything, but generally they'll work. You would just hit the L, you would select the item and hit L, and then that's going to align. If you select them and align them to the left, you just hit L, R for the right, but those are the hotkeys. So, and then align and distribute, you would just hit Control, Shift, and the A all at the same time. But I just wanted to show you that's, that, so you have your Dockers over here where you could select it. You have your pull downs up here where you can select it. You have your hotkeys where you could actually select whatever you want to work, and then you could put your commands up on top here too. So you got a bunch of different ways to accomplish whatever you're looking to accomplish. As I was making this video, I got a notification from my surveillance cameras, and I had a bobcat running down my sidewalk. So that's all that is, if you're wondering what that big cat running by is. Anyways, appreciate you watching. If you please like and subscribe and want to see any other videos, I'd be welcome to make them for you. Thank you.